the epitome of stagflation right now is what is going on in the housing market. It's
Mm-hmm.
right now the definition of stagflation because monetary policy has thrown the housing market upside down again. They did it in the mid 2000s, of course, and they've done it again because they've essentially trapped people in their homes via low mortgage rates that a lot of people have, where 90% of mortgage holders out there have an interest rate below 5%, 70% have a rate below 4%. And unless you really have to move, and maybe you don't want to move, you're not really forced to move if you don't feel like it because you got this low mortgage rate and why trade it in. So you have this dearth of supply on the existing home sale side
Oh,
that is preventing prices from falling
yes.
enough to mitigate the doubling of mortgage rates. So you have what you would think would have been a sharp decline in home prices with a doubling of mortgage rates, and we've seen nothing of the kind. So not only are borrowers who are going to take out a mortgage having to pay 7% instead of 3.5%, they're doing that for a home that is 40% more expensive than it was a couple of years ago.
Yes.
So and that has dramatically slowed the pace of transactions. So if you look at existing home sales, they're near the lowest level in a few decades. If
Mm-hmm.
you look at the mortgage application data every week, the purchase component is at the lowest in a few decades. Now, new home sales are trying to fill in sort of that supply gap. Home builders are doing very well here, sort of taking market share from a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
smaller builders that are having more difficulty accessing credit. But still, in the aggregate, the overall level of housing transactions is down a lot. And that means that for every home that's not turned over, for every home that is not bought and moved into, there's less carpet that needs to be bought. There's less paint that needs to be bought. There are less handymen that need to do renovations when you move in. The NAHB, the National Association of Home Builders, estimates that housing all in, including real estate brokers, renovators, contractors, everything could be up to 15 to 18% of GDP. So that's where I think is a perfect example of a stagflationary
Mm-hmm.
situation.